Happy Friday, everybody! Woo! Okay, so another teaching video today. Today I'm going to take a step back way to the beginning of anybody who's new to music. In music, there's two very, very important parts. There's the music itself, the notes, and then there's rhythm. Without rhythm, we have no music. Like, for example, say I wanted to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the piano, and I didn't do it with any rhythm. This is what it would sound like. Okay, right? But you couldn't really tell what song it was unless I told you. I mean, I can give you a better example, but that's pretty clear. Rhythm is super important to any music, any musician, and any instrument, anywhere. So let's go over basics of rhythm and how we sort of look at it with either counting or another way that we can kind of look at the notes. So there's three kinds of notes that we're going to start on today. We're just going to talk about the whole note, the quarter note, and the half note, because they're the easiest ones to think about. So first of all, let me show you what they look like first. Okay, so we have, first kind of note we have is a quarter note. It looks like a D or a P, depending on if it's your left hand or right hand, and it's colored in with a stick. This is actually called a stem. Okay? This is called the quarter note, and it is worth one count. Or we can call it the short note. It's the shortest of these three that we're looking at. Okay? So we'll call that the short note. And then the next one we have is a empty quarter note. Looks like a D, but not filled in. So that is a half note, twice as big as a quarter note. So we will call that our long note. Then our biggest note we have is called the whole note. And it is worth 4 counts, or I'd like to call it a really long note with a big L. Okay? So let's talk for another moment about proportionality. Okay? Music is incredibly black and white. It is exact. It is math. It is fractions. It is proportionality. There's like no guessing in music as to what a rhythm would be. You read the notes, you play the rhythm, you get the song. It's as simple as that, although really difficult when you try to put it into practice, but it pares way down to that basis of quarter note, half note, whole note. So let's look at sort of proportionally what we're looking at, okay? So if we take a circle, like so, this right here, this circle right here, this would be considered your whole note, okay? So one whole. What happens when we cut it, we put a line right down the middle. Now we have 2 half notes, okay? So 2 halves equal 1 whole, okay? Next, we're gonna split it again into what? These are quarters. And how many quarters are there? There is 4 quarters equaling 1 whole. Or 2 quarters equal 1 half. Okay? 2 halves equal a whole, 2 quarters equal a half, 4 quarters equal a whole. Okay? And it's as simple as that when it comes to rhythm and proportions. It's a quarter note is 1. A half note is exactly double a quarter note. So if a quarter note is 1, the half note is exactly 2. And then the whole note is exactly twice as big as a half note. So that is 4. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay? So let me show you this factor tree I made. This is another way you can look at it. Sorry for the boo-boo there. I made a mistake. We have 1 whole note. which is worth 4 counts, right? What happens when we split this in half, we get 2 half notes, exactly 2 half notes. Each one is worth 2, so 2 plus 2 equals 4. One of those. What happens when we split the half notes in half exactly? We get 2 quarter notes. 1, 1 for this half note, 1, 1 for this half note, i.e. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 4. So it's exactly 4 times as small as the whole note and exactly half the size of a half note. Oh, one other way, so that hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Another way you can look at it, you can look at it like money. Okay? So you could look at this circle here as $1. What happens when we take half $1? Well, that's worth 50 cents, which is exactly half the value of $1, which is $1, 2 half dollars. What happens when we divide $1 into 4? We get 4 quarters. So a quarter is worth a quarter of a whole, or half of a half. Okay. You can take a picture of this if you want. It might help you to kind of look at this. Ignore my messy writing. I am a lefty and I write really messy. So I am excusing myself in that. So you can look at this and take a screenshot if you want. This is just basic rhythm. There's many more notes. There's dotted half notes, dotted quarter notes, dotted eighth notes. There's many more, but right now we're just kind of taking the basics. I want to make sure that everybody kind of understands from the beginning of about music before we go forward and learn really cool things. Okay. We're going to take a piece of music right here, and we're going to go the counting, okay? I'm going to use a different pen to do this. Okay, so let's look at this song orally, okay? This is played with the left hand, okay? So this is a short note. It's a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, a quarter. They're all short notes because they're all quarter notes, and they're all worth, this is very important, every quarter note is worth the exact same value. If it's a quarter, it's worth 1 beat. Quarter is a quarter, is a quarter, is a quarter. They are all only 1 count, okay? Okay, so these are all going to be worth 1 count each because they are all quarter notes. So we got quarter, 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 half, or long, right? Let's do this next line and then we'll just play it. So I don't want to, so this is a short quarter, 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 and a whole, which is a really long. Now, we can count it, or we can look at the long and the shorts. So in every measure, this will be 4/4 time. This is time signature. We'll go over this at some other time. But what time signature means is how many beats are in each measure, and this is a measure, and this is a measure, and that's a measure. It's sort of like a clearinghouse for beats. It's not necessarily the melody of the song, but it is like a clearinghouse as to sticking them somewhere so rhythm makes sense to us, if it makes sense. So we use the idea of a measure, and then lots of measures in a row is a song. So this 4 means there are 4 counts in every measure, and this means quarter note, the 4, right? Because there's 4 quarters in a whole. This means that we are going to count 1 beat for every quarter note. So if we were to count this, we would count this, and we count up to the amount that we need per measure. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, or you could go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when we count half notes, we're still going to break them into ones. We're going to go 1, 2. And a whole note, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's kind of a couple ways that you can count it. You can go 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't just say 4 and you can't just say 2. You got to actually include all the little notes into the one big one. So I'm going to play this for you. This is orally. It's kind of like Love Me Tender from Elvis. So, but I'm going to say it out loud. I'm going to just do it a couple times so it makes sense in all these different ways. So first of all, we can count these in just the ones. Okay? So we'll go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to count it in counting wise. We're going to go, and every time we get to the new measure, we're going to start over at 1. One other really important things about measures and counting is you don't stop at the measure line. You don't pause at the measure line. Because each of these are worth the same amount, you can't sit there and hold this for 1.5 while you're ready to play the next beat. It is 1, and then 1, and 1, and 1. Okay? So you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I do that, I have added more value than one beat to this note. Okay? So, but I'm going to count it now just like regularly. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The last way I'm going to play this is I'm going to use the shorts and the longs. Okay? I think this will make sense to you. It's an easier way. I tend to do this with adults because it's easier sometimes to think about things in proportions, like short versus long. So I will do this way now. So we'll go short, 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 long, short, 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 really long. Okay, and you can take a picture if you want of this little song and my little description stuff down here. Well, that is all I have today for basic rhythm. Again, I'll do another one when we add in like the dotted halves and dotted notes and everything else. But I hope you have a great weekend. I hope this was really helpful for you. And you guys have a wonderful weekend.